Going back to like a biological perspective, what happens if woman has high levels of stress? So we talked about the fight or flight response at the beginning. If women are operating in more of that fight or flight response and cortisol is high, what that does is signals to the body, hey, we got to prepare to fight or flee or run or whatever we're going to do. When that system of our body, the sympathetic nervous system, is activated, it shuts down the fertility side. So just to kind of go back to that conversation about like fertility issues and things like that, I think there's a big portion of this is like a lot of women's bodies do not feel safe. And if we cut it at the root of that, we may see a shift in trend in some of the fertility issues that are marked, and that's one piece of that conversation. It's not the entire piece, but there's so many women that are having irregular periods, endometriosis, painful periods, like whole host of problems in that womb space. And I think a lot of it does come from that place of we've got overactive cortisol, bodies are in a lot of fight or flight most of the time. And it's telling that fertility system, hey, we're not safe. Like, let's not do this. Like, let's not have a baby and come in and not have a baby in this world, right? So that's like one component to this conversation and safety from like a very biological perspective. Like a woman's body needs safety in order to let that fertility system do its job and run in the way it's supposed to. But again, also on that energetic component, I was at a retreat and the woman hosting the retreat was beautiful and amazing, like this healer, and she was hosting this experience. And yet she had her husband there as a space holder, and he was there in the room, but he wasn't actively facilitating any part of the retreat. He was the safety. He was the protection around the entire event. And I watched this dynamic. There was this like moment where I was just watching the two of them interplay and thought, wow, this is what safety in our feminine really looks like.
Yes.
A man doesn't feel like he has to be the provider. He has to be the doer. He has to control and subservient the woman in order to be that provider. But that when he feels so good in his masculine and he can be the protector and provide this safe space for the woman to do the magic, like the woman to be the healer, the woman to bring her creation, right? Like even just thinking on biological level, like a woman's body creates life. When we look at the woman creating life in that feminine, and then the masculine having to provide the structure and the protection around that I think is where it exists. And we could look at that even just like in my business, right? Like I have the masculine structure, the systems that allow me to then be in my feminine, to have the flow and the creation, right? It's that they duality. It's not necessarily just men, women. It's like those elements have to coexist together. The coexistence of there's some element of structure and protection that allows for the safety of the flow to happen in the inside. And I think that's the bigger conversation. It's really looking at, like if we look at a society in whole, I think right now that masculinity feels threatened because they're only seeing it from this place of, I have to be the provider, I have to be the doer, I need to be like the everything. But that's really not what that masculine was designed to do. The masculine wasn't designed to be the everything. Yeah.
That is part of like such a bigger conversation that I can't wait to have, that I feel like I'm often having, I guess, is that the damage that has been done to the feminine through this patriarchal system, that damage has been done just as much to the man.
Mm-hmm.
When like the awakened man, the awakened masculine who's like truly embodied in their own safety, in their own sense of like good enoughness and worth and empowerment, that offers this like incredible healing ripple effect throughout everything else around.